There's a part of Philadelphia you're not supposed to go near, and most people have no idea why. Right in the middle of the city, behind fences and warning signs, lies a hidden world underground. It's not just closed off because it's old. It's off limits because what's below could actually be dangerous, and because no one really knows everything that's down there. We're talking about dark tunnels under City Hall, old police stations that haven't been used in decades, secret passageways, and even parts of the city that were just forgotten. Some of these places were once full of people. Now, they're sealed shut. So why is this part of Philly closed to the public? What's really under our feet? Some of it goes back to the 1800s. Some of it was built for war, and some of it was just buried and left behind. In this video, we're digging into the mystery of Philadelphia's restricted zones, from crumbling sewers and flooded tunnels to ghost stations and hidden vaults. You're about to see the city in a way you've never imagined. Philadelphia has been around since the late 1600s, so it makes sense that the city has layers, literally. The first signs of underground construction started with simple things like drainage ditches and water tunnels. Back then, the Mill Creek ran through parts of West Philly, but it caused flooding. So in the 1800s, the city built a giant brick tunnel to cover it up and force the creek underground. That's when the real digging began. As the city grew, so did its need for underground space. In the 19th century, engineers built complex sewer systems and tunnels for gas and water lines. Many of these were made with brick vaults, huge curved walls that looked like something out of a castle. Some of those old sewer tunnels are still down there today. By the early 1900s, Philadelphia started building even more below the surface, this time for people. Subways and train lines were added. Tunnels were connected so that people could walk underground from one station to another. The idea was to keep people safe from traffic and weather. But not everything underground was well planned. Some areas were built quickly and forgotten just as fast. Others were shut down after they became unsafe. Over time, entire sections of Philly's underground were sealed off or simply left to rot. So, while people above ground went on with their lives, a hidden version of the city was slowly taking shape below, brick by brick, tunnel by tunnel. Beneath the heart of downtown Philadelphia is a massive network of tunnels called the Underground Concourse. Most people don't even know it's there, but it stretches for blocks, connecting SEPTA stations, office buildings, and stores from the gallery all the way to the Comcast Center. It started in the 1920s as a way to help people move around without having to cross busy streets. Over time, the city kept adding more to it. By the 1970s, it had grown to nearly 4 acres underground, right below some of Philly's busiest spots like City Hall and Market Street. Some parts of the concourse are still in use today. You can walk through it to catch a train or grab a coffee. But there are also locked doors and hidden hallways that lead to places most people never see. Some of these spaces were used in the past as police stations, utility rooms, or storage for city workers. Others are straight-up time capsules, places left untouched since the 1940s or earlier. There are old lockers that haven't been opened in decades. Cracked tile walls, broken lights, forgotten signs. It feels like walking into a ghost town. Security and safety concerns have kept many of these parts sealed off. Some tunnels are unstable. Others just became hiding places for crime or homeless camps. So the city closed them down, locked the gates, and moved on. Still, the concourse is one of the biggest underground pedestrian systems in the US. And it's only partly open to the public. Not all of Philly's underground is open for exploring. In fact, some areas are completely off limits, and for good reason. One of the most well-known restricted spots is the Logan Triangle. On the surface, it just looks like an empty field in North Philadelphia. But underneath, it's a different story. This area was once filled with row homes, but the ground below started sinking. Turns out, the homes were built on top of loose backfill and an old creek bed. In the 1980s and 90s, the houses started collapsing, and the city had to tear everything down. Today, no one's allowed to build or dig there, and what's left underneath is unstable and risky. Closer to downtown, under City Hall and parts of Market Street, there are sealed tunnels and locked rooms that haven't been entered in decades. Some are blocked off because they're dangerous. Old electrical wiring, unstable ceilings, or water damage. Others are off limits because no one even knows what condition they're in. There are also places like the old underground police station, long since shut down. Rumors say it still holds boxes of forgotten records and even gear left behind. But city officials keep it closed off for safety. What's strange is that even city workers sometimes don't know what's behind some of the locked gates. The underground system is so old and complex that parts of it have simply fallen off the map. So if you've ever seen a stairwell in Philly that leads to a door marked "No Entry," chances are there's something unusual on the other side. So what exactly is hiding under Philadelphia's restricted zones? The answer: a little bit of everything. Let's start with the basics: sewers and water systems. Some of the oldest tunnels in the city were built to control flooding and waste. Mill Creek, for example, used to run through parts of West Philly. Instead of redirecting it, engineers built a massive brick tunnel and forced the creek underground. Today, it still flows beneath neighborhoods, completely out of sight. But there's more than just water down there. Over the years, workers and explorers have found secret stairwells that lead to old steam tunnels, sealed vaults, and even doors that no one has opened in decades. Some spaces are pitch black and completely silent. Others echo with the sounds of dripping water and distant trains. There are rumors of old speakeasies used during Prohibition and bunkers from the Cold War. Some say the city even used a few of these hidden areas for emergency shelters during the 1950s in case of a nuclear attack. Then there's the possibility of something even more historic: stops on the Underground Railroad. While not all are confirmed, researchers believe some basements and tunnels, especially near old abolitionist homes like Robert Purvis's, may have helped runaway slaves escape to freedom. If true, those underground paths are more than just forgotten. They're sacred. And not all tunnels are dry. Some still fill with water when it rains too hard, acting as backup drainage. That's one reason certain spots are sealed off. People could easily get trapped or injured down there. So what's really below Philadelphia? It's a maze of old systems, lost history, and eerie silence. It's where the city stores its past, sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident. And it's still shifting, collapsing, and changing even today. Even though much of Philly's underground is closed off, that hasn't stopped curious people from trying to explore it. Urban explorers, also called urbex folks, have been sneaking into tunnels, abandoned stations, and hidden basements for years. Some do it for the thrill. Others are photographers or historians who want to document what's been forgotten. Videos and pictures from these adventures show everything from long, empty corridors to old police lockers and staircases that seem to go nowhere. Some of these explorers have even found old subway stops and parts of the concourse that most people thought were gone. They share their discoveries on YouTube and social media, sparking even more interest in Philly's hidden side. But it's not just thrill seekers anymore. In recent years, city officials and local historians have started taking an interest too. There are new efforts to map out what's underground and make sure it's safe. Some areas have been cleaned up and opened for official tours, like parts of the Fairmount Waterworks or the old Reading Terminal train lines. There's even talk of turning some forgotten tunnels into walking tours or mini-museums, giving people a chance to safely explore Philly's underground past without breaking any laws. Still, a lot of it remains closed. Some areas are just too dangerous or too unstable. But the curiosity is growing. More people want to know what's below their feet, and more projects are popping up to help answer that question. Philadelphia is a city full of history, but not all of that history is visible. Some of it lies underground, hidden beneath streets people walk every day. So next time you're walking through downtown Philadelphia, take a moment. Look down, because right beneath your feet, there could be a stairway to a forgotten police station, a tunnel that hasn't seen sunlight in 70 years, or a brick passage that once helped someone escape to freedom. There's more to this city than meets the eye.